I am not going to have a pretty corpse when I'm done, and that's for sure. It's going to be broken down. It's going to be ugly as hell, and that's how I plan on doing it. I started going around to these different places, trying all these different martial arts. I was just fed up with it, just wanted to change. So I tried everything from, whatever they claim, ninjutsu, chunky monkey do, whatever it is. I do it for like 6 to 8 months. And the thing is that we have someone that was like 180 pounds. He'd show up, not have any technique, just bigger. And I got my ass handed to me. I just got so fed up with it. Then I found a place that was doing advertised Brazilian ground fighting. So I went there, and there was a guy named Pete Torres who was he was about 125 pounds. So I was like, finally, now I can actually return the favor and I can start crushing people. And the guy caught me in an armbar from guard like 3 times in a row in a 5-minute session. And I was like, how in the hell did you keep doing that? I mean, that was like amazing to me. And he's like, man, I don't know. I've only been here for 2 weeks. That's the only thing I know. That was it. That was literally it. Someone that was 20 pounds lighter than me, whooping my ass repeatedly with the exact same move, and it's only been 2 weeks. I was hooked. I put everything I had into it. I got so wrapped up into the sport. It was an addiction. Yeah, my first jiu-jitsu competition, weighed in at 147.5. I was 22 years old, 6'1". Had the nickname Skeletor for the longest time. My actual goal was to become stronger and faster, as strong as I could possibly be, as fast as I could possibly be. My main goal for jiu-jitsu was to be, the best at it in every manner, not just as an instructor, but also as an athlete and a competitor. And I wanted to have every advantage that I possibly could. I wanted to be faster, stronger, better strategy, more technique. So I started cross-training in everything from Olympic-style weightlifting to wrestling, Greco-Roman wrestling, and then developed into judo. And I started competing in Olympic-style weightlifting, and I started competing in judo. And I started, along with competing in jiu-jitsu. So it was Gracie Nationals 2001. I was actually a purple belt at the time. I had a match with Jonathan Burke, who was the highest-ranking American that Hoist Gracie had at the time. I caught him in an armbar, what's called a rolling armbar, and he had screamed, and I remember Fabio Santos, actually the referee, pulling us apart. I felt his hand on my leg, so I let go of everything, and then he looked up saying, well, I didn't tap, I didn't, okay, but again, Mr. Santos was there saying, no, but you screamed, it's the same thing. And I was approached by Horian Gracie after that, who is Hoist's older brother, and he starts kind of poking, and like, in Brazil, they're going to, they really know who won. They don't need a medal, but, you won your medal. That's fine, but, if you really want to find out who won, by all means. And that just kind of like, I got played. That pissed me off. So we had a mat by itself, and they cut off all the other, because it was a tournament, so there was like 4 other mats that were running at the same time. They stopped those. And no time limit. And we went at it again. About 18, 19 minutes in, catch him in a triangle. And he was very athletic, definitely a very legitimate purple belt, a very legitimate grappler. I just got taken by surprise, and by the time I realized what he had been doing, because I hadn't been training for that, I literally got picked up off the ground, and he jumped in the air and slammed me down on my neck, and kind of went out briefly, and didn't realize I felt like a sharp pain, my neck, down my arm, down my back, my leg, and my left side. And went to almost like survival mode. I don't remember like much of the competition after that. I just know I went another 42 minutes, I went 42 minutes total. I ended up winning again, but at the cost, well, it was kind of pretty stupid. They had the x-rays and they showed like little pieces of fragments on my neck, on my spine. And they were trying to figure out how I didn't get carried off on a stretcher. I guess, I didn't know. So I guess because I didn't know it wasn't broken there, right? I spent about 3 years recovering from that. I had muscle atrophy in the whole left side of my body. My quad shrunk up, my medial tri, my grip. Hence why I actually started learning those grip strength exercises was actually because of that. I'd go pick up a dumbbell in one hand and then pick up the same size in the other and fall right out. So I spent a lot of time dealing with that and rehabbing for years. And I still do because I just don't want it to happen again. I did earn my black belt before I went to selection. It was something that was very difficult to achieve. Very few did, especially at the time. There was definitely only in the double digits of black belts in the U.S. I was the first one actually in the Army that was active duty. Earning my black belt before I actually went in and becoming a drill sergeant at such a young age definitely gave me something to hold on to when I hit rock bottom. Just didn't want to continue. I mean, feet were killing me, or back was giving out. Whatever the case may be, I just wanted to continue going forward, and because I knew that I could accomplish one thing, so I know I can accomplish another. I've always been the type that even if, let's say, I do win. My mentality is I get on the podium, I get awarded my medals. That's my moment to enjoy it while I'm up there. While I'm on the podium, enjoy the moment. You earned it. Once I step off, that's it. That's the end of the moment. Get ready for the next one. That's just been my mentality for I don't know how long. I made it through selection. So what? I got the Q course. Enjoy it? Yes. You finished? Okay, good job, +5. Go to the next one. Same thing. I graduated from the Q course. Great. You just started. You got to wear your beret. Now you guess what? You have Sephardic, you have Sodic, you have, all these different things that I got to do more. The positive aspect on that is if I lose, it's fuel. There's a lot of fuel. And that really keeps me going. And if I win, what I do is I literally just will put that on the shelf and, start drilling in my head. It could have gone a different way if I would have done this, so I need to fix that. And it could have gone this way. Those variables that could have taken me a different path, I realized those and I'm like, wow, that was close call on that. Maybe I should fix that and just try to use those things as fuel for the next one. My father had actually traveled to Portugal and Lisbon with my mother to watch me fight in the European Championships, which is the largest tournament in the world. And that's the one I took second in. And I literally lost by 1 advantage point, which is not even a real point. It's like intent. And I lost. And didn't change anything my father was saying. He kept telling people I was like the world champion. And I'm like, no, I had to correct him. He didn't care. But that next year, I went to Barcelona. And it was the biggest tournament that I've done since. And he passed away. And when I was up there, I think that was the first time that I actually kind of like appreciated the moment. And it was a hard time for me. It was the first one that I'd won, and a big one, and I couldn't share it with them, and that was difficult. Definitely made me realize the more positive aspect of things. Where you can appreciate it and can. Look at what you've accomplished, enjoy the moment, and then, eventually move on.